Hey guys, Mr. Burns here with your video for lesson 4.4, multiplying and dividing mixed numbers. By the end of this video, I want you to be able to find products and quotients of expressions that include mixed numbers. Finding products and quotients of expressions involving mixed numbers follows the same process as working with fractions less than 1, though one additional step is required. All numbers that are written as mixed or whole numbers must be rewritten as improper fractions before the operation is completed. Some examples of equivalent fractions are shown, equivalent values are shown below. So one example is 4.5 is equal to 9 halves. 2 2/3, and maybe I should be circling this for you so you can follow along. That's this one here. And let's say 2 2/3. That's equal to 8/3. 8 is equal to 8 over 1, and 3 is equal to 3 over 1. Mixed numbers are rewritten as improper fractions by determining the number of total parts. Whole numbers are rewritten as the whole number over 1. So on example number 1, it says find the value of 7 1/3 times 1 1/4. So it says so in the solution, it says change each mixed number to an improper fraction. So the way you do that, and this is the one thing they don't explain to you that kind of irritates me, is what they do is they take the denominator and they multiply it to the whole number. So 7 times 3 is 21, and then 21 plus 1 is 22. That's how they get 22/3. Same thing with 1 1/4. They take 4, multiply it by 1, which is 4, and then they add 1, which is 5. And that's how they get 5/4. And then what you do is you rewrite and multiply. And then you write it as a mixed number. So you want to simplify your fraction, your improper fraction. So once you get 55/6, you write it as a mixed number by simplifying it. So anywho, moving on. When a multiplication or division problem involves a whole number and a fraction, write the whole number as a fraction with a 1 in the denominator. And that's what they're doing in example number 2. And I'm going over this pretty quickly because I know that you guys will be going over some of the stuff in the tiered lesson. So I am going through this part pretty quickly. So in example number 2, it says Isaac built a tree house for his daughter. He cut a board into 5 equal pieces. How long is each piece of board if the original board was 11.5 feet long? So again, make sure you pause the video, okay, look at the solution, read the left-hand side and study the right-hand side so that you guys understand what's going on. In example number 3, it says Brennan bought 6 1/4 pounds of salmon for his family. Each portion was about 1/2 pound of salmon. How many portions could he serve? So again, pause the video, read the left-hand side and study the right-hand side, and it'll show you what to do. It is often challenging, so I'm down there at the bottom, it is often challenging to determine what operation you should perform when you encounter fractions in a real-world situation. Multiplication situations can be related to repeating something multiple times, like repeated scoops with a measuring cup, where division might be taking a total and splitting it into equal portions. Multiplication and division are related operations, so read each question carefully to see if you are splitting up a total, which is division, or trying to determine a total, which is multiplication. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next page. So here we are in lesson 4.4T, multiplying and dividing mixed numbers on the tiered packet. So number 1 says to find 1/5 of 25. Okay, so 1/5 times 25. A, write the whole number as an improper fraction. 25 is equal to 25 over 1. Rewrite and solve the expression. Replace the whole number with the improper fraction from part A. And when you're multiplying fractions, you don't have to have a common denominator, you just multiply straight across. So I'm going to add a step over here. So it's going to be 1 times 25 over 5 times 1. 1 times 25 is 25. 5 times 1 is 5. Now let's go ahead and simplify this fraction. So what's the greatest common factor of 25 and 5? That's 5. So we're going to go 5 divided by 25 and 5 divided by 5. So 25 divided by 5 is 5, and 5 divided by 5 is 1. So 5 over 1. Is this in simplest form? No. So if not, okay, let's simplify. So 5 over 1 is the same as 5 divided by 1, and that is 5. Okay, so on numbers 2 and 3, okay, it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. It's exactly like number 1 in process. It's just the numbers are different. So here we go with number 2. So number 2, we've got 2/3 times 15. So we're going to go ahead and turn that into a improper fraction by putting a 1 underneath it. Okay, now we're going to multiply straight across. So 2 times 15 is 30, and 3 times 1 is 3. Let's simplify. How many times will 3 go into 30? 3 will go into 30 10 times. Number 3, you've got 1/7 times 28. Let's go ahead and change that into an improper fraction. So 28 times over 1. So at this point, let's go ahead and multiply straight across. So 1 times 28 is 28. 7 times 1 is 7. And then when we reduce that, how many times will 7 go into 28? 7 will go into 28 4 whole times. Okay, so on number 4, it says Trent swam 5/6 of the 12 laps necessary for his warm-up and practice. How many laps did Trent swim? So in this kind of situation, whenever you see of, the word of, so 5/6 of the 12 laps, so that word of means you multiply. So we got to calculate what 5/6 of 12 is. So let's go ahead and change our whole number into a fraction. So we got 5/6 times 12 over 1. So at this point, let's go ahead and multiply straight across. So 5 times 12 is 60. 6 times 1 is 6. And then let's simplify that. So 60 divided by 6, or how many times will 6 go into 60? That's 10 times. So he ended up swimming 10 laps. Okay, on to number 5. So on number 5, it says to find 3 divided by 3/5. A, rewrite the expression, replace the whole number with an improper fraction, which is with a denominator of 1. So that's going to be 3 over 1. And then it says, what is the reciprocal of the second fraction? The reciprocal of the second fraction, 3/5, is, all you have to do is flip it. So 5/3. And then it says multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to take the first fraction, 3 over 1, and we're going to multiply it to the reciprocal of 3/5, which is 5/3. And now we just have to multiply straight across. So 3 times 5 is 15. And then 1 times 3 is 3. Is this in simplest form? The answer is no. So let's go ahead and simplify. So we've got 15/3. What's the greatest common factor of 15 and 3? That is 3. So we're going to divide both the numerator and the denominator by 3. So 15 divided by 3 is 5. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And that reduces all the way down to 5. Okay. So for number 6 and 7, okay, we're going to find the quotient of each of these. So number 6, we've got 12 divided by 1/2. So first thing we're going to do, now let me back up. So if you guys have ever heard KFC, so KFC is a way to remember how to divide fractions. The K in KFC, like Kentucky Fried Chicken, is keep, flip, change. So if you can remember this mnemonic device, okay, this little saying, keep, flip, change, or KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, then you'll know how to divide fractions. So here we go. This is what I'm talking about. So first thing we have to do on number 6 is we have to convert the whole number into a fraction by putting a 1 underneath it. So 12 over 1 divided by 1/2. So here's where keep, flip, change, or KFC comes into play. So we're going to keep the first fraction the same. We're going to flip the second fraction to its reciprocal, and then we're going to change the division to multiplication. Then at this point, we're just going to multiply straight across and then simplify. So 12 times 2 is 24, and 1 times 1 is 1. And what does that reduce all the way down to? That reduces all the way down to 24. And that's it. Number 7. Number 7, same process, just different numbers. So it says, what is 6 divided by 3/5? So here we go. So we're going to take the whole number, change it into a fraction. So 6 over 1 divided by 3/5. Keep, flip, change. So keep the first fraction the same. Flip the second fraction to its reciprocal. And then change the division to multiplication. And now we just multiply straight across. So 6 times 5 is 30. 1 times 3 is 3. And now we're going to simplify this improper fraction. So how many times will 3 go into 30? Or what is 30 divided by 3? That is 10. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Number 8. Number 8 says, Mary bought 4 pies. She cut them into enough pieces so each slice was 1/6 of the pie. How many slices of pie could she serve? Okay, so let's go ahead and take the total number of pies. I'd like to take out some pies. Here we go. So 4 pies, and we're going to divide that by 1/6. So whenever you see words like cut, enough slices, okay, when you see words like that, you're dividing something up. You're divvying it up, right? You're making it smaller. So what we're doing is we're taking the pies and we're dividing it, okay, into smaller slices. We want to know how many slices, okay, we can get out of 4 pies cut into sixths. Anyways, here we go. So change the whole number into a fraction by putting a 1 underneath it. Flip the second fraction to its reciprocal, so 6 over 1, and then change the division to multiplication. Now we just multiply straight across. So 4 times 6 is 24. 1 times 1 is 1. And then 24 divided by 1 is 24. And what is my unit of measurement? It is pie pieces. Oops. Let me start over again. Mr. Burns made a mistake. Sorry, guys. So it's 24 pieces of pie. Yum, yum, yum. In my tum, tum, tum. All right, here we go. Number 9. On number 9, it says to find 2 3/4 divided by 1 1/2. A, it says rename both numbers as improper fractions if necessary. So here's what we're going to do. Underneath this, I'm going to show you guys how to change improper mixed numbers into improper fractions. So we've got 2 3/4. We're going to multiply 4 times 2, which is 8. And then we're going to go 8 plus 3, that's 11. And the denominator stays the same. So this is 11/4. Then we're going to do the same thing with 1 1/2. So 1 and 1/2. 2, let me write this a little bit smaller. So I've got a little more room to write. So 1 and 1/2. So 1 times 2, okay, is 2. And then 2 plus 1 is 3. So it's going to be 3/2. Rewrite the expression using both numbers from part A. So we've got 11/4 divided by 3/2. Find the reciprocal of the second fraction from part B. That is 2/3. And then multiply using the reciprocal. So it's going to be 11/4 times 2/3. And now we're going to multiply straight across. So 11 times 2 is 22. And then 4 times 3 is 12. Is this in simplest form? Okay, no, not yet. So here we go. I'm going to get old school with you. So now we're going to take the numerator, 22, divided by the denominator, which is 12. How many times will 12 go into 22? It'll go in there 1 time. 1 times 12, okay, is 12. Subtract those, I get 10. Okay, and that's my remainder. So my answer so far is 1 and 10/12. Now we're going to reduce the fraction part of this. So leave the whole number alone. And what's the greatest common factor of 10 and 12? That would be 2. So we're going to divide both the numerator and the denominator by 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. Oops. Having some technical difficulties here. What in the world? So, like I said, 10 divided by 2 is 5. And 12 divided by 2 is 6. Man alive. Lots of technical difficulties here. So, rewrite the answer as a mixed number in simplest form. So 2 3/4 divided by 1.5 is 1 5/6. Okay. All right. So for numbers 10 through 13, I'm going to zoom in. Okay. I'm going to zoom in so I can show you guys how to set these up. And yeah. And make sure you write small enough and neat enough that you can fit all of your work on the paper. All right, here we go. Number 10, zooming in. Okay, so number 11, we've got 1 5/6 divided by 1 1/3. Let's go ahead and find the quotient in this case. So the first thing we have to do is change our improper fractions, or our mixed numbers, into improper fractions. So here we go with this one, 1 5/6. So we're going to go, let me back up. 6 times 1, 6, and then 6 plus 5 is 11. So it's 11/6. Same thing with the second mixed number. 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 plus 1 is 4. So divided by 4/3. Remember, keep, flip, change, so KFC. So keep, flip, change. Multiply straight across. 11 times 3 is 33. And 6 times 4 is 24. That's an improper fraction. So if we got to get old school with it, here we go. So we got 33 divided by 24. 24 will go into 33 one time. 1 times 24 is 24. Subtract those, I get 9. So it's 1 and 9 24ths. Can we reduce the fraction part of this mixed number? Sure we can. So let's rewrite it down here. So we got some room to work. So 1 and 9 24ths. What's the greatest common factor of 9 and 24? That would be 3. So we're going to divide both the numerator and the denominator by 3. Leave the whole number alone. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And 24 divided by 3 is 8. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our final answer. Okay, on to number 11. On number 11, let's go ahead and change our mixed number into improper fractions first before we do anything. So we got 3 times 2, that's 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So 7/3 times, we're going to go 2 times 3, that's 6. 6 plus 1, that's 7. So we have 7 halves. Now we just multiply straight across. So 7 times 7 is 49. And 3 times 2 is 6. Let's get old school with it over here. So we're going to go 49 divided by 6. 6 will go into 49 8 times. 8 times 6 is 48. Subtract those, I get 1. So it's going to be 8 and 1/6. That's going to be my final answer. Because when the numerator is 1, you're done reducing your fraction. And that's it. Okay, on to number 12. Okay, so number 12, we've got 1.5 times 1 1/9. Second verse, same as the first, so let's get crack-a-lackin'. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So we got 3 halves. Then we go 9 times 1 is 9. 9 plus 1 is 10. So times 10 over 9. Now let's go ahead and multiply straight across. So 3 times 2 is 30. 2 times 9 is 18. Let's get old school with it. So we're going to go 30 divided by 18. 18 will go into 31 time. 1 times 18 is 18. Subtract those, I get 12. 12 is my remainder, and 18 stays the same. So we've got 1 and 12/18. Now, can 12/18 be reduced? Sure it can. So what's the greatest common factor of 12 and 18, that would be 6. So we're going to divide both the numerator and the denominator by 6. Leave the 1 alone. 12 divided by 6 is 2, and 18 divided by 6 is 3. And that is my final answer. Finally, on to number 13. On number 13, here we go. So we're going to go 4 times 4 is 16. 16 plus 1 is 17. And the denominator stays the same. Divided by. Let's take our whole number, change it into a fraction by putting a 1 underneath it. So 2 over 1. Now we're going to KFC. We're going to keep, flip, change. So keep, flip, change. Now we're going to multiply straight across. 17 times 1 is 17. 4 times 2 is 8. Going to get old school with it over here. So 17 divided by 8. 8 will go into 17 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. Subtract those, I get 1. So my remainder is 1, and the denominator stays the same. So my final answer is 2 and 1/8. So when the numerator is 1, you're done reducing. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is lesson 4.4. Okay, guys, if you guys have any questions, make sure you talk to your teacher. Make sure you come and see me if you need help. That's all I got. Mr. Burns, out.